Want to welcome each and every last one of you all to BYOB Market Talks. This is Tasha M. Dyer, the Trade Whisperer, and I want to welcome each and every last one of you all this evening to BYOB Market Talks. BYOB Market Talks. So as you are logging on right now, make sure you drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. Let me know where you're calling in from. I see you guys calling in from all over. I see Orlando, Baton Rouge, Bahamas, North Carolina, Trinidad, Memphis, Cleveland, Nashville, right? Claremont, Cincinnati, just all over. I see you guys keep logging in. As you keep logging in, Jacksonville, just drop it in the chat. But also make sure that you are definitely dropping it in the chat. Oh, thank you. Make sure you guys are dropping it in the chat, your affirmations. And you guys showed me so much love today, right? I just got to thank you for sharing your birthday with us. You showed me so much love today. And I just want to thank you guys so much. And, you made my wish come true. Because what was that you guys cashed out? That 777. That's all I wanted. Whether you took your first trade with BYOB cash out, whether you increased your account by 1%, no matter what it was, that you guys cashed out. And this is still cash out month, right? This is cash out month. So I'm so excited. Yes, I created the BYOB cash out. And so this is definitely my baby. So I was going to be here spending my birthday with you guys, cashing out with you guys. I love it. I love it. I love it. Welcome, Nigeria. I see you guys all over. And those affirmations, right? I am a master trader. I am the signal. All my trades in profit. I am 777. And if you have not had the opportunity to go back and watch that, with Dr. Bytewood, I am 777, right? A talk with the finance doctor. I am 777. Go back and watch that. That's why that was added to our affirmations. So anytime you start trading, anytime you begin understanding how the market works, mindset is key. Mindset is key. Mindset is key. So you definitely want to make sure you're walking in that mindset. You want to make sure you have the right mindset. You want to walk in that right mindset. And so I definitely want to make sure that's why we begin. So tonight is a training night. Tonight is definitely a training night. And we have been going through the tools. Somebody just cashed out on the US 30. 777 in the chat. I love it. I love it. I love it. So Camden, South Carolina, welcome you guys. State College, Pennsylvania, welcome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen with you all. So I see some of you are still logging in. We still got people logging into the call. So as you're logging in, you guys know, drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. Let me know where you're calling in from. But as we are doing so, and as we are doing that, I also need to know who is on the call. If this is your first time with us this evening, your first time on BYOB Market Talks, I definitely need a 111 in the chat. I need a 111 in the chat. And if this is if you are still learning how to cash out, let me get a 222, right? Let me get a 222. Welcome and welcome back. Welcome and welcome back. We got quite a few new faces on the call this evening. So welcome and welcome back. Welcome and welcome back this evening. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and get started. So we are going to talk about what is the BYOB cash out. Now, you guys had some setups, okay? Thank you. Thank you guys for all the birthday love. Love you guys so much. So yes, beyond bank, definitely. So you say broker and boss. I love it. So now, okay, so we have definitely, you kind of see, we still have, let me see, where is it at? You kind of see, let's first talk about the power. So we got quite a few new people on here. So I would definitely want to walk you through. So you still got this Euro GBP, right? We've been talking about this trade. This trade is still sitting there. So this is why you always want to bring everything back here, and we're going to BYOB it, okay? We're going to BYOB, and so we can cash out. So you still see this trade is still sitting here, right? And I want to talk about the power of this tool as we get into what the BYOB cash out is. So we're going to talk about this tool for just a moment, okay? Now, this is a vibrato because many of you know, and if you go back to that playlist that we've been going over, the playlist that is which is on our BYOB challenge YouTube channel, we've definitely gone through the vibrato, right? The vibrato, which we show you how to use these potential trades and potential buys that are on the side. That's not what we're using tonight, but I want to highlight because we have a few new people on the call. We got quite a few one-on-ones, and we got a few 222s who are still learning how to cash out. So I want you to, there is a playlist that will show you how to utilize this. And of course, the BYOB Market Talks is helping you understand how to navigate the market, how to understand the market, right? And this is, you know, so of course we'll go back and touch on this on another Market Talks, right? This, you know, it's just, that's not what I want to touch on tonight. I'm going to introduce to you a new one of the other tools that you receive in your package, okay? Then of course, one of the other things that we do talk about are the watch lists, which you have right here. We definitely get our headlines, we get information on the currencies, okay? You definitely have this. So you get your technical analysis, you get information, right? You see this is GBP, JPY, you understand. This is the type of information that the big banks of the world utilize. So when I tell you that this has been vetted, and so I'm telling you this tonight once again, because no matter what it is that you're utilizing, no matter what tool that you're utilizing, you want to make sure you bring it back to you, okay? And you want to make sure you bring it back to here, okay? That's what you want to do. So I definitely need you to make sure you do that. So basically, I want you to understand the type of tool. Now, in this tool, I am going to pull it up because I definitely want you to understand. So can I tell you about the other tools? Oh, yeah, I'm going over the vibrato right now. So I'm so glad you asked. So now you look at right here within this, the technical analysis, you can kind of see with the thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So blessed day, like, thank you. So what you see, you definitely have in this tool, you have the different oscillators, you definitely have the different information to kind of tell you where the strength is with the different oscillators. You have your moving averages, and once again, you have your pivots, those pivot points. And we just did a training on that last week where we pulled through and, you know, the different details that definitely throughout here, okay? So that's what's in here. So that's basically in this button. Now down here, of course, you see you can have your Forex pairs when you're looking at this. Okay, you have your crypto alerts, you have your indices, and then of course you have your metal. So when you're looking at different things that you want to trade, your strategy that you want to select is right here. And of course, we're going to select the BYOB cash out. Definitely, we want to select the BYOB cash out. So now, of course, these are different options that you can select, but of course, you're going to see tonight while we're going to bring things back in BYOB cash out. Now, understanding the BYOB cash out, so these are different options like London payout, you know, just different things, index fusion, just of course, watch list, you know, the original man watch list, just different options of different things that are housed within the vibrato. So of course, up here, you have your different time frames, you know, that you're operating on. So all of this is within a vibrato, and of course, this is your currency pair. Now, if I back out of this currency pair, what you're gonna see are the different options of everything that you can trade. You see that you have your stocks that you can pull up. You got futures, Forex, and of course, across the board of everything. You can type it in, or you can definitely just pull it straight across, right? And of course, you can select the time frame that you want to be on. So all of this is housed within a vibrato. And this is definitely what the big banks of the world utilize. So this is definitely that tool that we bring everything back to, and why the BYOB cash out is housed in here. When you pull up the vibrata, why, right? Why, when you pull up the vibrata, why Mr. Rogers, the visionary behind the BYOB movement, you know, this has got to be my browser. Why this is not, you know, why when you look here, this basically states that, you know, you are able to trade like the big banks of the world. And the, you know, the company is definitely hearing him speak, and why he's a spokesperson, because his background is in investment banking. And I'm not going to give the banks that he's represented and his background, but when you understand that, you definitely understand why he's a spokesperson and why this tool is so valuable. So with that being said, this is definitely put you in a position of why, you know, this is so credible in what you have in your hands. So with that being said, what we've been doing for the most part is using this information right here, and you've also been using the harmonic scanner. So just so you understand, when I pull this up, right? No, Stephen Hooley created the vibrata, and Mr. Rogers is the spokesperson. Mr. Rogers, BYOB, be your own bank, is a movement. Be your own bank is a movement. BYOB, cash out, is the strategy I created. There's a difference. Most of you all shorten the strategy and just say BYOB, but the strategy itself is BYOB, cash out. Then be your own bank is actually the movement, like be your own bank. But then the strategy itself is be your own bank, cash out. Many of you all just say be your own bank is for the strategy itself. But the strategy, if you look down at the bottom, it actually says be your own bank, cash out. Okay, so there is a difference. But, you know, so it's actually cash out, be your own bank, cash out, right there. So that's just so you understand. But many of you all just say BYOB. So the strategy is actually BYOB, cash out. Now, when you're looking at this, is what we've been using. But what I want to do is, and if we have time, we'll touch back on that. But what I want to do first and foremost is I definitely want to talk to you about the BYOB cash out while we touch it on a 15-minute chart. And then I want to introduce to you all the actual swipe trades, right? There are some swipe trades that came out, which is another tool that you all can definitely utilize, another tool that you all have access to, right? And so we're going to talk about some of those trades that come out, because you should always be in a position where you're taking a trade because you know how to analyze it. And why? This strategy has been back tested at a 92% accuracy rate, and we are going to BYOB cash out everything, right? That's what we're going to do. So that's what we're going to do tonight. Everything that we're going to do, we're going to bring it back here and we're going to cash it out. That's exactly what we're going to do. So BYOB cash out. So looking at it, and I'm going to explain to you how to look at it from two different ways, right? How do I look at it from both positions, from the hour and the 15-minute? Because I think there are quite a few of you all that like to look at it from both perspectives, and we're going to highlight and utilize the tools that, you know, that we're going to highlight, utilize the tools, but we also want to make sure that you understand the strategy while we're doing so. So now when I'm looking at this, what the BYOB cash out is it's literally made up of 3 simple indicators. And right now I'm on a 15-minute chart, but I definitely want you to understand why we start from the 15-minute chart. Now, you have to understand compounding, okay? You have to understand compounding. In the Facebook group, okay, in the Facebook group, BYOB cash out, there is a compounding sheet, right? Now, there is a compounding sheet. And so if you all have tried that, it is, I don't want it shared where you all change it or change the formulas, move the tabs around. And so if many of you have tried to share it and then I delete it out of there because I noticed that some of the things have been changed. I want everybody to have the same opportunity to take that sheet, download it, because the same way If you want to build wealth and you want to create the wealth, that sheet is definitely there for you. No one should ever be telling you that you should be trading at a 0.0 whatever, or a 0.05, or a point something, or a 1.0, right? It's all based on your personal preference. When I sat down with a family to do a retirement plan, it's all based on your personal risk management, but yet it's still designed there for you to create wealth, right? That's what we're here to do and to help you do. That spreadsheet is there to help you generate the wealth that you want to create, but it's going to be done at your personal risk management and tolerance level. So go into the Facebook group, get the spreadsheet, and put your balance in there, and also put your risk tolerance level in there. And you'll see after 125 successful trades, how you can grow towards your wealth. That's what that's in there, right? You'll be able to do that. So you can build and grow your account towards your wealth. And that's why so many people are sitting around unbothered right now, because we literally can grow our trade accounts towards being unbothered. And that's why I know it works. Okay, so let's talk about this. So we got 3 indicators. We got a stochastic, right? We got a stochastic, and we have our Hikinashi candles, and we have our PSAR. Okay, we have those 3 things. We got a stochastic, we have our Hikinashi candles, and we have our PSAR. Now, with the actual Hikinashi candles, what you're looking at is, you got, this is what a Japanese candle is, okay? So I want you to understand, first and foremost, your Japanese candles are what's on your MetaTrader 4, not Hikinashi candles, okay? So you cannot enter trades from the vibrato. You are definitely analyzing here, you're entering your trade on your MetaTrader 4, okay? It's a big difference. You're analyzing here, you're entering your trade on your MetaTrader 4. So here's your stochastic leading indicator. Here's your Hikinashi candle lagging indicator. It now becomes an indicator. And then I also have my PSAR, which is a parabolic stop and reversal. Okay, this is your actual stop loss, right? It is a trailing stop loss in the market. The market tells you, market talks. What we're teaching you how to do is hear from the market. The market is going to tell you. When you hear from the market, that is when you have your aha moment. Now your trades are ending in profit, right? You do not force a trade at all, okay? So stochastic. Now you look at my stochastic. I got my numbers 0 to 100 along the side, okay? 0 to 100 along the side, right? Now 0 to 100 along the side. Now, what I'm looking at, blue line cross over the red and a downward momentum, blue line and cross over the red and an upward momentum. That determines how I take the trade, what I'm looking for. Now, if I got 20, you see this shaded area, it's gonna go from 20 to 80, okay? It's gonna go from 20 to 80. Now, right here, what I'm looking for is a red candle. If I'm looking here for a sell, I'm looking for a red candle with a flat top, okay? Red candle with a flat top, PSAR flip to the top, right? So just think about it, top, top, top. Think about it over here, bottom, 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 right? Top, top, top. So that's what I'm looking for, okay? That in itself is a strategy, okay? Now, that's the strategy. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna put an arrow right here. Do I have any questions on the strategy before I add anything else? Any questions on the strategy before I add anything else? Any questions on the strategy before I add anything else? Okay, if you have any questions, you just drop it in the chat. Okay, now, what you wanna do now is time frame confluence. And also it's important to know which, and the reason why I'm taking my time with this evening, because I'm gonna show you this on the hour. Okay, I'm gonna show you this on the hour. So not 3 greens in a row, not 3 greens in a row. I'm talking, when I say top, I'm talking about my stochastic, and then I got my red candle, and then I got my PSAR. So I got my blue line cross over the red and a downward momentum, which is happening at the top. And then I got a red candle with a flat top, and then I got a PSAR at the top. That's what that means. Now I'm gonna do what's called time frame confluence. I'm gonna drop down to the 5-minute, and the 5-minute needs to still be selling, okay? The 5-minute needs to still be selling. You notice how it's kind of got a little hesitation there. So my 5-minute would need to still be selling. On my hour time frame, it would need to be selling, right? My hour, because this is the actual swing in the market. That's the swing in the market right there. So that would actually need to be selling. So actually that is selling. But you see, you kind of saw that hesitation on the 5-minute. Look what's happening. I got pullback and everything on my hour, right? That's literally what the BYOB cash out is. Now, let's look at this from the hour, okay? I want to show you something from the hour. If I was looking from the hour for you guys, okay? If I'm looking at this from the hour, let me back this up to this hour. If I'm looking at this right here from this hour, because this is going to help you understand, especially when we go look at these other trades, okay? If I look at this from the hour, my confluence is with this 4-hour. Do I have confluence right here? I do not. My confluence is with the 4-hour. This is not in a sell, right? I don't have this in a sell. So the PSAR is a parabolic stop in reversal. So when the PSAR flips to the top or the bottom, these are trend candles. So the candles are showing you what the trend of the market is. The PSAR shows a reversal happening in the market. The candles show the trend, the PSAR show the reversal. That's what that is, right? This is the trend that shows a reversal happening in the market. So, but you need all three. When you understand, the price action that happens in the market, when you get price action, you understand, right, that you have your support and resistance lines. You know, this is like that trailing support and resistance line. So, and then you got support and resistance lines that happen in the market. This is that trailing support and resistance line. When you have your trend, right, you got your trend that happens in the market, right? Let's look at this one. When you got a trend that happens in the market, let me go back down to the hour. You know, when I got a trend that happens, when I got a trend, I'm gonna just draw my trend line right here. When I got a trend, because that's a trend candle, this is the trend. The candle, that's the actual trend that happens in the market. And if I drop down to my hour, right, well, we just drew that trend line, look at the trend that happened in the market. It breaks the trend, just like we learned in price action. It breaks the trend, and you actually see how it breaks the trend. And now you can, where you enter the market. So it's not, the PSAR is not the trend. The Hikinashi candles are. Look how smooth they ride. Remember, you know how I always tell you guys that the 4-hour is the trend of the market. Look at how smooth they ride the trend candle. Look at how the trend candle, look how smooth the trend candles ride the trend line. If you actually draw a trend line, you guys can draw a trend line. Just because you don't, you can still draw a trend line. The hour is the swing in the market. The 4 hours is the trend in the market. I always tell you that. So look at how smooth it rides that trend line, right? The PSAR is a trailing stop loss. The market tells you the stop loss. It's their reversal in the market. So if this is where my stop loss goes, my stop loss goes outside of that, right? Stop loss goes outside of that. So you notice that you look at this, for example, look at this one. Okay, look at this one, for example. Even though I got this, even though that spiked down really bad, did it go outside of my PSAR? It might touch my PSAR, but did it go outside of my PSAR? It never goes outside of my PSAR. It will touch it, so that's why your stop loss is always below or above the PSAR. It's a reversal in the market. So when that PSAR flips, that's why we say when a PSAR flips, you don't get in a trade before that PSAR flips. And I saw somebody correct somebody in the chat. They were like, such and such 777, and they was like, you didn't have a PSAR flip, right? And they were 100% correct. It's not worth taking a trade without it. They're like, you didn't have a PSAR flip. So when you're looking at this, right? If I'm looking at this, I don't have confluence. So I don't get confluence till right here. If I look down on my hour, okay, so when was a good time to enter this trade? It don't look like it was never a good time to enter this trade. So it's gonna keep you in a trade. It'll put you in a trade and it'll take you out of trade, right? It'll put you in a trade and then so we might want to look at one of these down here. Might want to look at the buy. That was oh, that was you? Aha, I didn't know who it was. Okay. I just saw something in the I didn't look at it, but if the PSR didn't flip, so I don't go back and analyze everything that's said. I don't go do that. I'm just like, if the PSR didn't flip, then the PSR didn't flip. So I didn't know who it was. I just know if the PSR didn't flip, then that would be absolutely correct. So when you're looking right here, okay, look right here, blue line cross over the red. Now this is why it's always around it, because this isn't on the 20, it's always around it. You kind of see where I got my, right? Look at this. I got my green candle with a flat bottom and my PSR flip. And then I actually have confluence, right? I got confluence on the 4 hour. I got confluence on the 4 hour. If I drop down to the 15, so this is kind of what we were talking about this morning on the 5 o'clock call. If I drop down to the 15, you can kind of see where that's still buying. And then where do I go? You know, where do you take that trade up to? To a support and resistance line. So that's literally like a take profit 1. And then you go up to a take profit 2. You can kind of see where my support and resistance lines are if you want me to drop them. So that's like a take profit 1. And this is all going to be important here in just a minute. That's a take profit 2. And then where your support and resistance lines, that's a take profit 3, right? And you can kind of see where those support and resistance lines are. So when you know that you're working with the trend of the market, the swing of the market and the trend of the market, this is where those take profits are, right? That's where those take profits are. And that literally moved up for, that's 116 pip trade. So now you've gone past 10 pips in cash out, right? So you've done that. You can also use this to help you identify, if I'm looking on an hour, I can use that to help me identify a trade that I would want to take on the 15. So if I look on the 15, if I start on my hour, I can drop down to my 15 and I can look for an optimal entry point on my 15 and just trade it up to that first support line and not worry about having to ride it all the way up, because you might not have that confluence. Like we didn't have that confluence over here, right? We didn't get the confluence up here, but we could have, where are we at? You know, when we were looking on my hour, you saw where we started getting a red candle. We could have dropped down to the 15. You know, this is just doing it vice versa. Where did my 15 start? Did I get confluence, right? Where did we start? The confluence right there. Drop down to my 15. Did we have a good entry point on the 15? We did. What am I, you know, what's my 5 telling me as well? And you could have used that to trade down to your, you could have started, basically what I'm doing, instead of starting at the 15, you're looking for that confluence, that swing in the market. Do I have my entry point on the 15? Make sure my 5 is still selling, and you can trade down to your support line. Does that make you, so are you with me? 555 if you with me. Instead of you having to wait 10, what I'm doing is trying to help you, because you look at that, you look at the 15-minute chart, right? And the way the market is moving in, what we've noticed is the market is moving in waves, right? The market's been moving in waves. So, and you guys are messaging me a lot saying that the market is moving and it's not moving, and you're having to wait 15, 20, sometimes an hour looking for that setup. And so some of you all don't want to do the full hour to take profit 2, 3, right? You don't want to do that. And that's fine. Some of you all like trading on the hour and going with the 4 hour. And you know, that's personality driven. But what I'm trying to show you is that if I'm trading from the hour, if I start with the hour from, basically what you're doing is just vice versa. You're starting with your confluence, right? All you're doing is starting with your confluence. And you can start with your confluence and drop down to the 15 to get your entry point. But when you do that, the point I'm trying to make to you is don't try to push it for confluence on a 4-hour. Don't try to push that for a long-term trade. Don't try to mix the two. Those are still two different trades. Okay? Do not try to push that. You're still, all you're doing is dropping down to the 15 for that tight entry just to trade to that first support line. Okay? Or this to do your 10 pip, however you want, you know, based on what we've been teaching. It's the same thing. You're just getting a different entry point. Or you just start your analysis from the hour instead of starting from the 15. Make sense? No, the grid lines on the chart are not support and resistance lines. The grid lines on the chart are not support and resistance lines. They are strictly grid lines that work with the price along the side. That is all they are. That is all they are. That's it. The rules don't change, right? The rules do not change. Blue line cross over the red around the 80. Blue line cross over the red around the 20. Those rules do not change. None of that changed, okay? None of that changed. That did not change. So let's look at some swipe trades and then we'll come back. And so, because I want you to understand this. So let's look at some swipe trades and then we'll come back and why, you know, no, confluence is not these, confluence, the strategy is the 3 rules. The strategy is the 3 rules. Confluence is comparing the time frames. Time frame confluence is comparing the time frames. The strategy is the stochastic, the candles, the PSAR. That's the BYOB cash out. Confluence is comparing the 3 time frames, right? So now let's look at some swipe trades. I want you guys to be able to take all of the tools that we have, right? These are, we're gonna look at 3 swipe trades that came out today. Okay, 3 swipe trades that came out today. This is GBP AUD. We got a swipe trade that came out. And does the PSAR matter when checking for a confluence? No, the strategy matters on the time frame you're trading on. The strategy matters on the time frame you're trading on. When you do confluence, you're not gonna have confluence on the time frame on the higher time frame. The higher time frame needs to look like a setup, like something you're waiting on a watch list for. I'm glad that cleared it up. So that needs to look like something you're waiting on a watch list for, right? And we'll do that again, right? We'll keep going over that and over that and over that, because as we keep looking for these longer time frames, right? We keep looking for these longer trades, right? I want you to be able to use that trailing stop loss. Want you to be able to be in profit. Want you to be able to understand that. So first things first, as we look at this, first thing first, what is the first thing that, you know, first thing first, we don't trade consolidation, right? That's the first rule before we cash out anything. So this is why you never take a trade blindly, okay? You never take a trade blindly. We do not trade consolidation. So, but this line is where this trade was called. This is the time this trade was called. So we're gonna look at this. This is why we BYOB cash out everything. So now, when we look at this, this was called on the hour at this time. And this was actually called for a buy. Now, when this was called for a buy, now look at this. Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I need you guys to keep your microphones muted. Thank you. So this is called for a buy. Now, when you look at this and we put this in, now this was a take profit, this was a stop loss, okay? Then this was adjusted for a stop loss later. So how many times have you heard me say, I have the ability to send signals, but I refuse to, okay? I have the ability to send signals, but I refuse to. This is why. This is why your affirmation is, I am a master trader. I am what? The signal. You are the signal. You are going to take your trades and you are going to analyze them, okay? Now, you come here. Now, where do we see a setup for a buy? Okay, So this was a market execution trade at this line at this point for a buy right here. Now, this was a market execution trade for this. Now, what you do is for a buy. This was a stop loss, then the stop loss was adjusted. So this stopped out for 60 pips. Okay, this stopped out for 60 pips. Then, you know, even if it would have, like, look where it went up to. This was a take profit. So we stopped, this one stopped, let me not say we, this stopped out for 60 pips. So that is one of the trades. Now let's look at this other one. Now, this one, right, was a buy by market at this point. And let me see. We want to apply BYOB cash out to it. Now, if you notice, this is a continuation trade, honestly, because this one we would have blue line cross over the red and upward momentum, right? Blue line cross over the red and upward momentum. And this actually has been moving. This has been buying. So when we talk about our trades, when we can actually continue taking a trade, so that's literally what this was. So this is like this is the take profit one that they've identified, take profit two, take profit three. I don't know who call these trades, and I don't really care. It's just that even when we take them from the harmonic scanner, if we take them from swipe trades, we're gonna BYOB them. So when I look at this, right? When we look at this, you notice that, remember how I've always told you that you want to be able to identify that it starts around the 20, but anytime you have a correction, you'll get that pullback. I think somebody asked me about this the other day. So when you know that the trend has already started, when you get, every time you hit a support or resistance line, you're going to get pullback. Now, when you get this pullback that happens right here and it begins to pull back up, this is actually what that was. So you don't expect it to always drop back down to the 20, right? A correction or a pullback is not going to drop back down to the 20. And so what you see is that this did pull up and hit that take profit one. Now, where we are with this, but do I have confluence? I absolutely have confluence right here. But am I going to try to go to take profit three? Am I going to take to only to take profit one, or am I going to attempt to push this for take profit three? Now, where am I at? I'm at above the 80 on the stochastic. So what do? I'm going to take it to take profit one, and that's it. I'm not going to try to push this to take profit three, right? So on this trade, now out here, I've seen some really good ones. I've seen some that you can take where it'll go all the way to take profit three and beyond. But when we look at the BYOB cash out, where's my stochastic now? My stochastic is above the 80. It's out even on a 4 hour. The 4 hour is really what's going to tell you where the market's going, right? So my 4 hour is now telling me that the blue line is crossed, beginning that shift, right? On my 4 hours, beginning a shift. So am I looking for this to continue to push up right now? Unless some fundamentals happen in the market or some change. Now, it can turn and it can curve and it can do what it does, right? But right now, based on what we know of the market and what we know, now you kind of see I don't have confluence. I got my, so it might ride this support line for a while. But I got my blue line cross over the red. This is up closer to the bottom, right? And then on the 4 hour, it's closer to the top. So if I was in a trade already, you could secure your profit, but notice what happened. It reached it and then it did what? It pulled back down, right? It reached this up here and then it pulled back down. So if we really wouldn't still be in this trade, honestly. So this would have been a trade that we took to take profit one, right? We would have took this to take profit one, and that would have been it. We would have closed this out. Questions, comments, questions, questions, comments, questions. Questions, comments, questions, anybody? Anybody using swipe trades? This is swipe trades. Well, I made the entry point yellow. You know, when you enroll, swipe trades are one of the, what do you say? Is this the red number on the right? No. Swipe trades, okay. Swipe trades are one of the things that, this is not on the vibrato. Swipe trades are actually one of the things on your enrollment that you should receive. You should never be enrolling at the 225. I tell you guys that all the time. You should always be enrolling at the 325. So I'm gonna say this. Anytime you get enrolled, you should be enrolling where you have access to everything. Okay, you should be enrolling where you have access to everything at the elite level that this company offers. So if you are enrolling without having access to everything, then you're enrolling with only a portion of, you don't even have access to all of the education. So you're enrolling with a portion of the education. So that means that you don't even have access to the information that I'm explaining and training on tonight, if you did not enroll with access to everything. Because what I'm training on is another one of the tools. That means that when I trained on pivots, you don't have access to that. When I train on the swipe trades, you don't have access to that. And what we're doing is I've been going through a series where we've been training, and what I'm going to be doing is training on every tool that this company offers. So I'm training on every single tool that this company offers. So you should always enroll at the elite level, always. You are the signal, period. And you should always enroll with access to everything that this company offers. If without the elite level, you don't even have access to all the education. And you are doing yourself a disservice. When you enroll to get an educational degree, you do not enroll for half of your classes. You do not enroll for a portion of your degree. You enroll and do what's required. If you want to build wealth, you want to step out and do what's required. So this is swipe trades that this came from, which is a tool and a product that comes with your elite package. That's where these trade setups came from. So yes, there's definitely you go into your academy and upgrade. Yeah, you can definitely go into your academy and upgrade. You sure can. So let me see here. So basically what this did is, so what they do is, so when this, let me get back on track. So this literally, exactly. So what this is you are literally looking at, so this, you would know to only take this to take profit one. So another one that actually came out today, right? Another one that came out today was a market execution for a sell. Now on our chart. So as I'm looking at this, we would have known not to take it at this point, but it was definitely a sell setup. Now what you're looking at, right, on the hour. So when would we have taken this trade and what would we have taken it for? This is a perfect setup for what we were just talking about. And that's what part of what I wanted to share with you. If I'm looking right here, and you can kind of see now, would I really be looking for a sell at this moment? Blue line cross over the red. When I jump up here to see that I do not have confluence on the 4 hour, okay? I don't have confluence on the 4 hour. Remember what we were just talking about though. We were discussing how you can drop down when you see something from the hour, you begin seeing a candle from the hour, I can drop down to the 15-minute, right? I got my blue line cross over the red in a downward momentum. See how a perfect setup for what we were discussing, right? I can start seeing my setup from an hour. So what I'm doing is, instead of starting from the 15, I got my confluence. I'm looking at my confluence on the hour. So I'm looking at this from the hour. I see a red candle, right? And even got a perfect nice little setup with the stochastic, right? So this looks like a setup. So it's always a better look. So I know I can trade it down to the support line because I got a great setup, which is going to be a higher percentage accuracy trade for you. Go down to my 15-minute, right? When I go to my 15-minute, blue line cross over the red, we're doing it vice versa. Stay with me, let me explain it. I got my blue line cross over the red in a downward momentum. I got a red candle with a flat top. I got a red candle with a flat top, and I got a PSR flip. So where am I trading from? I'm trading from my 15-minute. I'm not trading from my hour. What I did is I just did it vice versa. That's what I was explaining in the beginning. I'm doing it vice versa. So instead of me starting to look for this on the 15, because the way the market has been since Corona, remember we would get on the calls or you would see something and we would literally take about 5, yes, you do. We would literally take about 5 to 10 trades during that 5 o'clock hour, right? And then now we're looking for setups sometimes. But then you guys are eating you are still eating during the day and you're eating really good. Exactly. So now you're checking the confluence first, right? And so when you see the confluence, I drop down and voila. So all I'm doing is it vice versa. I got a great setup. And guess what? It's still, look at this setup. It's so perfect. And so I know, right, my accuracy is there. I can trade it to the support line because this way, and so this is what I was explaining in the beginning, and now you guys see a really good setup in this way because you actually have my stochastic. Look at my stochastic as well. Normally we see just that candle, but look at my stochastic as well. So because I know I got all of that, that's a great setup. I'm trading to my support line. And how many pips is that? That's 34 pips instead of just my 10. But because I don't have confluence with the hour and the 4 hour, do not go further than that. Do not push this for more than that. Do not push this for more than that. Do not go past this line. Why is that so important? Look how once it got there, what did it do? It went more. It went higher. It turned and it went higher. It turned and it went higher. It turned and it went higher. Because why? What is my 4 hour doing? What is my 4 hour doing? My 4 hour is still green. My 4 hour is still buying. So until you get confluence with the hour and the 4 hour, do not try to push it. That's what we were just explaining the other day. It does not matter. 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 We are not here. We are here to practice a proper account risk management at all times. If you got good car insurance, do you drive on the wrong side of the road because you got good insurance? So don't feel like because you got a nice account balance that you can just jump in a trade and just let it turn around. That is the wrong mentality. Everything you do needs to be from proper risk management. Everything you do needs to be from the right mindset. That's how you build wealth. That's why people win the lottery and are broke next year. That's why they can win $1 million and be broke next year. What we're doing and what we're talking about is literally building wealth and keeping wealth. You want to do it the right way and have the right mindset. And that's why we speak what we speak at the beginning of these calls. And that's why you see those testimonies that flood that chat that says, I am walking away from my job. So it does, if you have a small account balance, then you go look at that compounding sheet and it will tell you what you can trade and how you can trade it. So if you, based on what your account balance is, it'll tell you if you only need to be going for 10 pips, then you get your 10 pips and cash out. It's all right there on that compounding sheet. It's all right there. If you have a large account balance, then it'll tell you what your lot size should be as you build toward wealth. It's all right there on that compounding sheet, and that's why you need to use that. You use it to buy. We compound out all the time. We compound out to buy a house. We compound out to buy a car. We compound out all the time. Look at what we pay out. It's time to shift our mentality and compound in. We are compounding in. We are building wealth. That is what we're doing, and we're doing it the right way. We're gonna take these trades. And we're gonna take these trades and we're gonna do it right. And we are walking out. I literally just spoke, was it yesterday? I spoke with a young man that told me he had a 98% accuracy rate on here. 98% last month alone, 98%. Since last month, 98% accuracy rate. So I say 92 because that's what I have to say, because that's what we back tested. And that's not the only thing. The consistency is there. When you do it right with the right mentality, you practice, perfect practice is what's going to get you there. So that's why I'm trying to teach you guys the right things. And that's why I'm trying to teach you guys to do the right things. So even when we're on the live calls, I'll see you guys drop a 777, but I'm going to walk you through the rules. I'm going to walk you through the right things. I'm going to walk you through doing it the right way, because I'm going to walk you through risk management. That's what's going to happen. So somebody asked me about support and resistance lines. If you need help trying to draw support and resistance lines, if you need help, let me give you guys some homework real quick. I'm going to give you guys some homework. Go here, okay? That's all this is on this harmonic scanner. All this is support and resistance line. The settings are in the strategy. You don't have to change a thing. So don't worry about changing anything. So if you're here, all this is support and resistance lines, okay? How do I do support and resistance lines? Go to the higher time frame. You want to do it on like the hour, unless you're doing indices or something. So come here on the harmonic scanner. So you got some homework, okay? This is homework. Come here, pick a currency pair, okay? Pick a currency pair. All this is support and resistance lines. Come back here like this says NZDJPY. And why is it way up here? Oh, it went way up there. Let's pick another one. It really doesn't matter because we're not looking for it for anything. My browser loves me tonight. So NZDJPY, right? NZDJPY. So remember, we don't blind trade any of this, right? This is nothing more than each one of these is a support and resistance line, right? That's it. You're going to come back here, NZDJPY, okay? We're going to make sure we're on the hour. What they say for it, we're going to be on the hour. That doesn't matter. I didn't put it out there for a reason. I know what I'm doing. So now it's in the strategy. It's loaded in the vibrato. So now what you're looking at is you're going to come here, right? You're going to come here and you're just going to, these are like the answers in the back of your textbook, right? These are the answers in the back of your textbook. Remember in school, you go take the test and then you come back and check it. Just do this like 10 times, 10, 20 times till you got it. Keep doing it till you got it, okay? So when you come here, I'm on the hour. Okay, I want to do it on the hour. So you want to pick one that's on the hour. We've only got like two or 3 minutes left. So I'm not going to do it. But you want to pick one that's on the hour. And you see what this is? You want to change this to a line chart. when you change this to a line chart, now look at here, and you're looking for touches. So I'm gonna just do one. You're looking for touches. So when I'm looking for these touches, I drop a support and resistance line, right? You're looking for touches. So you're looking for touches. I'm gonna drop a support and resistance line. So you're just looking for touches. So they're everywhere, right? I'm just looking for touches, okay? And why do I use a line chart? I use a line chart because it is actually more accurate, okay? I use a line chart because these are actually closing prices. So that's what I'm doing. So you can kind of see that they're everywhere. You can kind of see, you know, how you got them there, they're there. And remember that this is an art and it's not a science. That's what you want to remember, that this is an art and it's not a science. So your lines might be a little bit off from theirs. So when you bring this back, okay, so don't feel like you didn't do something right or that it's not perfect or anything like that, because it's an art, it's not a science. Remember that, because with each one of these, it's a zone. Understand, around this, you can never draw a perfect line in the market. With each one of these, it's a zone. So when you do that, and then you got your lines. So these are how you determine your take profits. And so then when you come back, and as you're looking for your entry, I'm not gonna just jump in this because it says entry. I would actually be waiting for this to turn around and for this to be a red candle with a red candle, right? I need it all to be lined up like this one started, but I can guarantee you we never had a red candle up here. We never had confluence over here. So we would have never been in that trade. So this is how you make sure you come back here and you BYOB it, right? So we always want to make sure. So somebody would have jumped in this trade because it started selling, but we never had confluence right here. So yes, this just identifies harmonic patterns. So what do we do tonight? We talked about some swipe trades. Everybody understands why you need to be enrolled with an elite package, because some of you guys didn't even know what swipe trades were. So everybody's gonna make sure you have an elite package, right? We talked about the harmonics. You guys have your homework. You're gonna go back and do your homework, and you're gonna make sure you understand how to draw support and resistance lines, because you understand support and resistance lines are your lifeline. It is definitely time to transition this call. So do you have any questions, comments, or testimonies? Questions, comments, or testimonies? Questions, comments, or testimonies? Questions, comments, or testimonies? All right. Awesome, awesome. So you go practice it, go practice it. I gotta transition this call. Gotta transition this call. So ladies and gentlemen, it is definitely time to transition this call. So once again, I definitely want to thank every last one of you all, right? I want to thank each and every last one of you all for all the love that you guys showed me. Thank you so much. I want to thank you all for all the love that you